Good afternoon. Welcome to Needing a Meeting. I'm Carol, your host, and I'm waiting for Candy to show up. Candy's Life. Her channel is Candy's Life, and waiting for her little picture to show up here so I can bring her into the meeting. In the meantime, I'll read from Daily Reflections AA book. As soon as I do that. Yesterday's baggage. Let me see if that's her. Okay. Click that link above. Okay. Yesterday's baggage. For the wise have always known that no one can make much of his life. There she is. All right. Hello, Candy. How are ya?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I can't see you. If you want to go that way, that's fine. But if you would like to have your face visible, just click on the camera icon there.
Yeah, I didn't do my hair for this one, so.
Oh, no problem then.
We're just going to be incognito for today.
Excellent. That'll work. That'll work. How you doing today?
Good. I think I'm coming down with an end of season cold.
Oh my God, I had the worst cold I've ever had, I think, in my whole life. That I still wake up with a little bit of a cough from it, and it's been a while since I.
Between that and the damn goldenrod.
Yeah, we've got goldenrod around here too. Yeah, it's brutal. It's even affecting my animals. I'll see their little eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink eye in farm animals has been outrageous this summer.
Yeah, my neighbor's cow had that. I noticed. Ugly case of pink eye. Well, I was just about to read from the Daily Reflections and talking about inventory. That thing we love so much.
Oh, yes. It's just in my top 10.
Yeah.
My top 10 of what we won't say, but.
That's right. Yeah. For the wise have always known that no one can make much of his life until self-searching becomes a regular habit, until he is able to admit and accept what he finds, and until he patiently and persistently tries to correct what is wrong. That's from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 88. Goodyear. I have more than enough to handle today without dragging along yesterday's baggage too. I must balance today's books. And if I am to have a chance tomorrow, I'm to balance today's books if I'm to have a chance tomorrow. So I ask myself if I have erred and how I can avoid repeating that particular behavior. Did I hurt anyone? Did I help anyone? And why? Some of today is bound to spill over into tomorrow, but most of it need not if I make an honest daily inventory. Yeah, that thing. On the inventory thing, I've kind of tended to let that come organically, but that doesn't always work out too good. Sometimes we're running when that blind spot's trying to show what's behind it. Yeah, and that's one of those scenarios where it's where you take the inventory, or the inventory takes you where you'd rather not be. It's kind of like getting out of the head of the story. If you're the first one to the punch, chances are yours is the story that's going to stick.
It's definitely going to be the one that most remember.
That's right. The breaking story.
You mean Candy, that girl that ran into the side of the house? I didn't do that.
Did you really do that?
Well, it
Did you?
depends what you call running into.
Okay. I have no idea what that
Now, did
means.
I back the camper into the post of the carport? Yes.
Yeah, I can. I've done things like that.
36-foot motorhome. Something was bound to happen.
Yeah, especially if you're backing up. Did the post get knocked out of the thing, or did it
Yeah, it
just?
just got knocked out of it. Didn't tear it down or anything
Well,
because
that's
I
good.
saw it in the mirror when I hit it.
Yeah,
Immediately stopped.
yeah. Well, good. There you go. So I think, yeah, we usually don't take the inventory until something comes up. But also, a good way that I do inventory is taking that drive, when I'm taking that drive to kind of clear out the cobwebs. It's just me and the road. I do a lot of processing that way, and a lot of stuff will kind of make itself visible,
Yeah.
in those situations. But, you can't just go up and take a drive just any old time. Those things, especially when you have a farm, have to be planned a little bit.
Right. I mean, you can't very well go to your cows and say, look, I'm going to drop around bale. I filled up the water. I'll see you in a week.
Yeah. I mean, you
You
could,
could,
and they'd
but
probably be okay as long as there's a lot of grass. You can get by with that a lot more in the summer, but in the winter, yeah, not so much.
unattended livestock tend to like to jump fences.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm about to find out all those fun things with my two
Yeah,
little
I saw
girls.
your baby cows. They are babies.
Well, yeah, but they're not. They were born at the beginning of the summer, and they're
So they should be twice their size then.
yeah, they should be about halfway to their size that they're going to be,
Right.
or more. Yeah, yeah. Because the ones that are the same age as they were not that far behind the mama cows. So yeah, they really were behind the 8 ball in the growth thing. But I'll know in a couple of years what they're actually going to get to.
Hey, the fact that they survived,
It
that's
is
pretty good.
pretty amazing. It really is. It'd be kind of neat if the little girl is kind of in the smaller range. That way, I could maybe breed her to a mini Highland cow, because that's what I want to get into is Highland cows.
Highlands, yep.
And Ladybug, hi, how are you? Yeah, no worries. Glad you're here. And but yeah, what we were talking about, little baby cows. Yeah, I'm Christy's back. Hey, welcome back. We were just talking about the cows, and and where they are with their growth, and we'll know kind of in 2 years. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I hate when I can't find my remote.
That's a daily occurrence for me.
Yeah, for me
But
too.
you know what I've done? There's an app, believe it or not, there's an app for my TV remote on my
Really?
phone.
Does it work?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good to know.
So in the middle of the night, if I've dropped it on the floor, I don't even have to go searching for it. I just got to pick up my phone and go, ding.
So do you put a little thing on the remote?
No, it's I guess it's just a generic remote, like a universal remote.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So I just had to put in which model of TV I had, and then it works.
Well, that's cool. What's the name of the app?
Vizio.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a Vizio TV, so
Yep, you might be able to get it too.
Right on. But yeah, the vet that I take my farm animals to in Huntsville, he has a mini Highland cow. And so I think next time I go there, I'm going to ask if he if he does stud services and get the little girl bred.
Yeah, Highlands are definitely the tamest breed if you're starting out.
Yeah, yeah.
Highlands and Jerseys, they say.
Well, the neighbor's cows the neighbor that I got these cows from have always seemed really tame. I mean, they'll let you kind of almost walk up to them, and they just kind of stare at you. And so um, she is for sure part Red Angus, and the dad was probably the Charolais bull. So there's some part Charolais in there, but Angus is still the Scottish.
Well, that tells me everything I need to know about why they survived. It's the Angus in them.
Yeah, yeah.
Angus tend to be very spirited.
Well, hopefully that mellow Charolais will kind of balance things out there.
Anyone I've ever seen that raise Angus, that's the first thing they say is they're spirited. I'm like, yeah, that's code for hard to handle.
I don't know if it's because typically Angus are black.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's the case with the Red Angus so much. I've never noticed the Red Angus of my neighbor being all that hard to deal with or too rambunctious or any of that.
Not pushy?
No, not at all. They've even got a Red Angus bull over there that, sorry about that. I was looking at that dark screen and I wondered if opening the curtains would help. They've even got a beautiful Red Angus bull, and he's very docile. So you've got a birthday coming up.
An anniversary.
Anniversary, yeah.
And, the birthday was last month. It goes birthday and then anniversary.
Well, happy birthday.
And then Thanksgiving, Christmas. Oh my Lord. It seems like I have nonstop events from September right through March.
Okay.
Then I get kind of a break in April, but then May we started off again with the rest of the kids.
Right on. Well, so I'm kind of looking at maybe making like for the sober women. This was the tiara that I got from my mom for her 95th birthday, her very last birthday. And that was what she wore on her 95th birthday.
There you go.
And I don't know if I'll put it on like a teddy bear or on myself. What do you think? It's your anniversary. Do you want me to wear it?
I say wear it.
Okay. Well, I will wear it in celebration of you. And I've ordered a male crown too, a king's crown, one of those kind with the little dome thing and the purple. Yeah. It's kind of cheesy looking, but I'll find something better eventually.
I swear to God, those are the crowns that they used when the king had a bad hair day. We're just going to stuff the worst of it up in, and we're going to let the ponytail stick out a little bit. You're going to be fine. Never mind when he goes home, he looks like he's got a big old bird's nest on top of his head.
That reminded me of that one wizard in the trilogies, the Hobbit trilogies.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the poop running down his face, the bird poop running down his face. Yeah. Well, how'd we get off into those weeds?
Talking about crowns.
But yeah, so I've got that little thing coming, and I think eventually I'll probably just order just a really cool, like medieval looking crown without the topper thing or whatever. but for a little while I'll use that one. I don't know how many men will be eventually coming to this thing, but be nice to have some men in here.
Well, I put out a Facebook thing with the link, and I'm gonna drop it into my. I still call it Twitter. I cannot.
Yeah, I don't like that new
I
name.
was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and we were talking about Twitter, and she's like, "Now that it's called X," she goes, "I have heard so many people tell me it's becoming more of an open porn site." I'm like, you know what? They're not lying to you. I've had to I've had to
That
pull
makes sense. Oh my God,
I've
ew.
had to pull back because I'm sorry. Um I don't need to be that close to what you're doing in your bedroom. I don't know you. I don't want to know you, and I certainly don't want to see you taking it in every orifice you got.
Ew. Ew.
I kid
No.
you not.
Oh my God. No.
Formerly
I
known
got
as
off of
Twitter.
Twitter just in time.
Yeah,
I
you
got
did.
off before all of that
I'm telling you, if they start
transpired.
charging for it, I'm tapping out because I'm not paying for that.
No, that's bull.
If
Yeah.
I want to pay for porn, I'll go to OnlyFans.
There you go. Oh, I forgot to talk about my today's sober October day 5 drink. This is Ready Sports Drink. It's a real food carb source, zero sugar added, and it's electrolytes for hydration. And this is strawberry banana flavor. They've also got like a lemon blueberry. And that's my sober October day 5 beverage for today. I wanted to get some ginger ale or that Reed's kind for beer replacement, but
Yep.
that's for another day. I need hydration. What are
Sounds
you
good.
drinking?
Water and coffee.
Water and coffee. Yeah, I had my coffee earlier today. Do I look real shadowy or can you see me pretty well?
I can see you good.
Okay. I've got lights on me, but it looks
I
real.
mean, there's just enough light and shadow amount with the curtain open. I think you look fine.
Thank you. Okay. Well, so we're here. We're supposed to be having a meeting, not just shooting the shit about the cows. Raspberry and Christy's having a raspberry lemonade energy drink. Ooh, that sounds good.
That does sound good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, she says she can see me perfect. So, do you need a meeting today? And if so, what would you like to talk about? Do you want to share?
Me?
Yeah. Maybe share a little bit of your sobriety story.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. That way I can kind of give people a heads up.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Candy.
Hi, Candy.
I will turn 5 on the 12th, so 7 days.
That's amazing. That's so
And I will get into my story more in depth then.
okay.
But I do want to let people
Forward to
know
that.
there's parts of my story for
Okay.
legal reasons I
Yeah.
cannot jump into the weeds on.
Okay.
So
All
if
right. No problem at all.
questions get too deep, I will let you know that for legal reasons I can't talk about it. But
Okay.
that's just to protect me and to protect all involved.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. No problem at all. So yeah, just get into what you want to get into. Let us get to know you a little bit.
So I got sober by way of basically it was found out that I was doing things at work that I shouldn't be doing.
Mm,
Then my dealer got busted, and I had no way to keep my habit going.
okay.
So I kind of, I tried doing it on my own, and I made it about
Hi, Senna.
6 hours
Welcome.
before I really was in shape where I had to go to a detox hospital. I had to go somewhere. There was no way I was going to make it through that. unassisted.
Okay. Well, yeah.
At this point, I was doing 10 grams of heroin every day just on my own, not accounting when I was partying with people.
Yeah. Okay.
But then you add benzos and alcohol on top of it, and I was in terrible.
Ooh, I bet you were. Ooh.
So I was able to get into a detox, which I had to spend the first 3 days in the behavioral emergency department because my levels were so high that they couldn't guarantee I was even going to walk out of there.
Mm, scary. Do you remember?
I remember bits and pieces because they had me pretty much under sedation when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
emergency.
Yeah. They had to do that with my mom when she was going through detox after her heart surgery.
Yeah, and then when
It's-
they got me up on the detox floor, then they started introducing the Suboxone, but we even had to do that slowly.
yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, your poor little system was,
I was
oh
on my
boy,
way out. I was definitely on my way out. If I wouldn't have gone to detox, I would not be here to tell my story today. I know that.
right? So,
So I finally get up on the detox floor and they start introducing the Suboxone, and I meet the doctor. And I loved the doctor. The doctor was great. The counselor, however, if I could go back to that detox, I'd still like to shake the shit out of him and slap him around a little bit. Because he looked at me and he's like, I can tell just by looking at you that you're going to be one of the ones that don't make it. And
that's,
I looked at him, I'm like, get my discharge papers ready
yeah.
and watch me. I said, I can't. I said, I just can't. I cannot work with somebody that's going to bet against me. That's supposed to be
Mhm.
part of my winning team. I just
Nobody can
can't
look
do
at
it.
anybody coming into a meeting and coming into a program and say that one's going to make it, that one's not going to make it. Everybody's going to surprise you one way or the other. The ones that you think, oh yeah, that one will make it, they might be the worst relapses, and you
Uh-huh.
just don't know. Period. And that's hubris to think that you do know.
So,
So what have you done to stay clean?
I have been on Suboxone. I'm actually in a formal treatment program,
Mm-hmm.
and
Like
with
this whole
that, I
time, the whole
do
5 years.
the program I'm in now. I've been in for 4 of the last 5 years. The first
Okay.
year, I was working with a doctor that you gotta love living in a small town. Is all I'm gonna say, because I had that doctor betting against me because she absolutely detests my husband.
And okay.
Yeah.
What?
Well, she was using her detest of him against me.
Gee,
So,
don't you love a doctor that's petty? That's so professional.
yeah. So, after messing around with my prescription one too many times, I actually found a treatment center to work with. So,
Okay. Is it like an outpatient thing
yep.
mostly? Okay.
I do. It's 1 hour for me, and I could be in the step down program where I go every other week, but I kind of like my group. We're a small group. We've been together for the last year.
Yeah. What's a step down group?
It when you first start the, and I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's called Groups Recover Together. When you start out, you have to do weekly group therapy
Okay.
and meet with a counselor once a week, and then once you've been there, and you know basically it's like a phase progression. So it's
Okay.
like phase 2,
Mm-hmm.
and when you make it to phase 2, you only have to do the group therapy once every other week. So
Can you see the comments I'm
I
putting up?
can't.
Okay, it says they shouldn't
Oh,
be a
wait, I
counselor.
think I might have just got, because I'm on the restream side. I'm not seeing the YouTube side at the moment.
Okay. Well, it was saying, Sarah was saying that she could see the comments that I was putting up in the restream. Hello, Zen Wen. Glad you're here.
Is that the one that has to give her doggy a bath?
Gonna come back after I give Zona dog a bath. Yep.
You're right, Christine. That man should not be a counselor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the 4-letter C word I'm going to agree with too.
Yeah. Not one of my favorite words, but sometimes it fits.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite either, but you know what? When it applies, it applies.
Yeah, exactly.
And anybody that's working in treatment that talks to people like that, it applies.
Yeah.
And it applies in all caps at that.
Yeah. So
just imagine you're the one person that is like the voice of hope.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be there to, okay, what's going on? How can I help? What do you need?
Right.
Not, oh, I can tell by looking at you, you're not going to make it. Watch me.
Yeah. I don't think that.
Here I am 5 years later, I think, and I have not relapsed. Not once in those 5 years.
Somebody doing that, really, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Did you report them by any chance?
I didn't, because I just didn't. I mean, I didn't have any insurance or anything, but.
Okay.
So basically, I was there by what they call the good graces of the hospital.
Seventh Son says, Candy, his challenge to you might be the reason you were successful. If I wasn't told I'd never quit smoking because of being sick of my loved ones bitching at me, that pissed me off and I showed him.
Well, if that Seventh Son, if that was his mission, challenge accepted, and I still win.
Yeah. But yeah.
The worst thing you can tell me is you're not gonna do something, because I will do it every damn time.
Right on. I tend to be a little bit that way myself. Oh, don't tell me what I will or I won't do.
Right? With you, what do you mean I can't raise cows? Do you see this out in my yard? I think I'm raising cows.
Had they said it to the wrong? Yeah, exactly. That's my, because that was my first thought.
Exactly,
like Seven was. That was my first thought. Like Seventh was saying, but if you say that to the wrong person, it could have a tipping point.
Somebody coming in off the street homeless that already feel they have nothing left to lose.
Yeah.
You say that to somebody like that, and they'll be the first ones that go out and prove you right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, not even my counselor has any faith in me. I must be the biggest piece of shit in the world. Why live? Bye. There you go.
Yeah. 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 No, that's dangerous. That is dangerous thing to, that's a gamble that I don't feel like you have a right to take.
Right. Whether you're doing it to challenge somebody to do their best or not, that's a situation where you have to be careful with your words.
You do. You do. I mean, even seeing them said to somebody, like somebody that's observing that person saying that to you, you don't know how that can affect them. It's that's risky. Too risky in that situation, perhaps. I mean, I could be wrong, but still, but it worked out it worked out in your case. Thank God. I'm
God.
glad you're here. Yeah, thank God. So, when you when you go to your group therapy, basically, what is the majority of the stuff that you talk about?
Relapse prevention comes up a lot, especially around holidays.
Yeah.
We've done a few groups on xylazine and fentanyl.
Okay.
Because that's,
what is xylazine, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm glad you asked. Xylazine is a medication that's labeled as a large animal tranquilizer, like your cows.
Oh.
And
Oh my God. So is that the stuff called trank then?
Trank.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And
Woo,
yeah,
that is scary.
like I said, I know I'm a big girl, but I ain't that big a girl that you need to be using a cow tranquilizer in my stuff.
Yeah. Insane.
And where it's labeled for veterinary use, there is no human antidote.
Yeah. I thought they had just developed one.
I know they were working on something. I hadn't heard that it hit open market yet.
If I was new in recovery, that might be enough to scare me straight.
Being in recovery for 5 years, it's enough that it scares me that I am too afraid to go test the waters.
Yeah. I feel like that would had that effect on me. I'm, golly, stuff that we were
the first one to say not a lot scares me, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is scary.
Dope today scares me.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Because, I bet you they're just coming up with new stuff every day to kill us.
It's what is going to make my product stronger, what's going to make people drop dead, because sadly that's how that game works. Is if your product kills people, that's the one that everybody wants to rush to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nature.
I've never understood it myself, and I've been in the trenches of it. I hear somebody dropping dead. It's like, okay, I want nothing to do with that dude over there.
Well, kind of how that works is in nature. Oftentimes, animals will run toward the danger and away from the thing that's going to save them. It's just nature. Like little animals, when there's a forest fire, they're more scared of the firefighters than they are.
Right, so they run deeper into it. Yep, because they know the forest.
Yeah, and some of my birds that aren't tame, when they're in a dangerous situation and I'm trying to get them out of it, they make it more difficult because they're running from me right into the danger zone. Yep. It's just, I don't know what that is. I don't know, but there's something in nature that is also in us.
Yep, pacifist, fight or flight. Fight, flight, freeze.
Yeah, and you don't think straight in fight or flight. You don't.
No, you do not.
You don't act rationally in fight or flight. Yeah. Very true. So what else do you do to stay clean and enjoy life? Because if we're not enjoying life, there's something wrong, because we need to be at some, not everything's going to be happy, happy, joy, joy, but
you're right, Christy.
There needs to be some quality of life.
Fawn. I forgot. There's fight, flight, fawn, freeze.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Lemmy Pacifist here, says, nice to meet you, Candy.
Yes, nice to meet you too. I found a way to see some of the comments, so
Okay.
I
They
don't know if
should,
I'm seeing them all, but I'm seeing some of them.
I'm wondering if it has to do with the camera because maybe I don't know. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you fine.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I'll try to keep you up to date on what's going on in the chat.
Okay.
It's how you know it's
But
good. If it kills, it's not cut too much. It's not cut too much. Oh, okay. It's how you know
that used to be the way you knew if it was pure or not. Now, with fentanyl and xylazine, it's pretty much the exact opposite. Now, if it kills you, it's because it is cut too much.
Huh? Okay.
Back before everybody started cutting their product with like fentanyl and xylazine and whatnot,
Uh-huh.
that's how, like, if somebody's product killed somebody, it was because it was too pure. That's
Okay.
the whole reason you cut it anyways.
Okay.
And
Oh my God.
yeah,
Are you serious?
he's not
Wasp
joking.
spray, Blimmy
He's not
says.
joking.
Oh my God. I mean, I've years ago with meth labs, there was always that thing of people saying, yeah, they cut it with Drano.
It's made with everything under your kitchen sink, people. The only medical equipment thing in meth is the Sudafed. That's it. Everything else is under your kitchen sink. Your Drano, your lye, your all of it.
Yeah.
Ladies, if you use acetone nail polish remover, you got that too.
Woo.
Now, nobody go combine those things and add fire to it. Just don't do it. That's how you see large explosions happening.
Wow. Cut with fent and such, she probably means. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So basically, that's what people want to flock to now is the stuff that is cut with the fentanyl and the xylazine versus as to looking for a more pure product.
Yeah. We spray wasp spray on screens and mix with meth.
Yep.
What the hell? Oh my God. How did we get here? Can someone tell me that?
I wish I knew. I really wish I knew.
No worries, ZW. We're here. You're good. I had a question about that. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah,
It's up to you.
what do you do for quality of life? What do you do to enjoy life?
Well, sadly, for anybody who's checked out my YouTube channel, you're going to see I haven't really put up much content in the last couple good years, anyways. But I went through a very, very serious depression, which I tried to get medical help for, but that doctor was less than helpful.
Mm.
So,
And depression is very debilitating. People really that don't have it really do not understand.
right. I
how
mean, I
it
was
is.
at the point where you couldn't have paid me to even just get out of bed for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Nope. No interest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real. It's real. I don't care what anybody says. You tell me it's not real when you have it.
Right? Oh, it's all in your head. You're right. It is in my head.
Yeah. Just not like you think.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've struggled with it my whole I realized I thought it was since my early 20s, but I have recently come to realize that I have struggled with it my entire life.
Yeah, me too.
It just got intensified in my early 20s.
Yep.
And I was
That's what I
so
found too is, I never really had like huge friend groups. I was always the one to kind of 2 or 3 friends at a time was more than enough for me.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
So are you still dealing with that?
As far as
The
the severe
depression?
depression, no, it has gotten better. But
Good.
it took a lot of work and a lot of experimentation and
Yeah.
finally deciding to go with medical marijuana. Yes, I am legal,
Okay.
but cannabis has been a lifesaver.
Right on.
Now, am I going to tell everybody, throw your pharmaceuticals away and go get on cannabis? No, that that's something that you, as an individual, have to do your research on and talk to your whole team
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
because it only works if everybody is on the same page.
Right on. That's hard to get too. It's hard to get doctors
Yeah,
on the same page.
I will be the first to say I am one of the lucky few that my recovery doctor's on board, my counselor's on board, my primary care physician is on board, and my cannabis provider is also less than an hour away from my home. So
Does the cannabis help with depression in your
it
case?
does.
Okay.
It does, but you have to find the right strains. I mean, you can't just go out and grab anything and it's going to work.
Yeah.
There's different profiles and every strain is something different.
Yeah. I'm all for whatever it takes to that
4.5 miles, pacifist?
that
Holy, that's
Christy
quite the
says
walk.
she's one of those lucky ones.
Amen, Christy.
That's good. It sounds like you got a good team. That's good.
You're right. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
have it the way that Christy and I do.
I didn't.
I mean, you'll get one doctor that's pro marijuana, and then your other doctor's like, absolutely no marijuana.
Yeah. Yeah, a myth is a myth is a myth, and what brings somebody down in that aspect is not all it's not always the case for
There's
everybody.
a there's a huge difference in using cannabis medically
Yeah.
and for treating conditions
Yeah.
versus just sitting around with your friends and smoking it up all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I never enjoyed getting high on marijuana. There at the last, it became a necessity because I had taken a combination of drugs that I was not coming out of, and my head was all messed up, and my everything was all messed up, and the only thing that would take the edge off after that was marijuana.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I use it for pain control. I use it for my anxiety, my depression.
Yeah, and it doesn't. You're not able to drive though, or anything like that when you're on it,
I
is it?
don't drive anyways,
Okay.
but no, you're not. It's not legal to drive while you're
Even medical.
even medical. It's the
Okay.
same as if you're taking prescription narcotic pain medication.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be out driving around under the influence of that either.
Yeah.
It's along those lines.
Okay. I had a question about that, and I just lost it. I'm gonna grab my notebook so I don't forget my questions.
I'm like that too.
They go as fast as they come. Well, is anybody else here needing a meeting? Is there anything that you'd like to talk about?
Anything
Well,
else
we're
I can
here.
answer?
Yeah, that too. Any questions for Candy? That's good. It sounds like Australia got smart
Yep.
with, not, making that part of, I mean, your society is only as healthy as the members of your society. It makes sense. That's one of the main things that you can do to destroy your health,
That's a wise
mental and
decision.
otherwise. Gets free consultations monthly for the cannabis to check it's the right sort. Haven't started yet as I wanted to be sober before I started. So I know it's what's actually working. That makes sense?
That is a very wise decision.
Yeah,
Do as much research as you can.
I would say that
Because,
that
like I
is.
said, while cannabis was a lifesaver for me,
Yeah.
it's not right for everybody.
No.
Just like I hate comparing cannabis with pharma, but it's the best I've got. Just like not all blood pressures. There's not just one blood pressure medication that's right for everybody,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So while cannabis may be what's right for me and what I need,
Yeah.
maybe it's not going to be right for the next person.
That's right. Yeah. I think I would.
I mean, I will be the first one to say that I went into medical cannabis very, very slowly. At first, I didn't even want to.
Yeah.
And then the more my doctor was talking to me about it, the more I'm like, okay, you know what? What's the worst that's going to happen? I
Yeah.
smoke it, I don't like it, and I don't got to continue.
Right. Yeah.
Yep,
That's
edibles.
yeah.
I do rely on quite a bit of edibles.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that for me, I'd want to try everything else before going down that road, because that can be just as experimental as any of it.
Yep.
And when you're in a desperate situation, you're in a desperate strait. Um, Sometimes you just don't have the luxury of, the ability to get through whatever the medication's going to put you through, including
Right.
marijuana, you know, in a real crisis situation, which I actually recently found myself in one of those. And I'm really thankful for my doctor. She asks great questions and she does the research. She doesn't pretend to know, and she consults with other medical professionals and all of that. And I appreciate that about her. I really do.
That is a very good doctor.
Exceptional. Yes, she is. She is. And
A
it's
doctor like that, especially today, is worth their weight in platinum.
absolutely. Yeah. And she,
You know, a lot of us that live in the rural health areas, we're very well aware of how the doctors are like, okay, you have a 15-minute appointment time. I'm going to see you for 5 minutes of that, and then I'm on my next.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. It's like, do you ever question why you became a doctor? It can't be just about the money because you can do almost anything,
Right.
you know?
Money isn't the end all be all here, folks.
Mm-mm.
You swear an oath to not harm people and to help.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you don't swear an oath that I'm going to book my calendar full back to back to back, and I'm going to see each patient I have for 2.5 minutes.
What's a sham, Lemmy? Yeah, I'm not an advocate for saying, yeah, everybody should have marijuana, but I am an advocate for decriminalizing it. That's just stupidity.
Yeah, me too.
It's it being
No
decriminalized
way do
federally
I
means that
think
there are.
somebody should be doing a life sentence in prison over a plant.
I know it. ridiculous.
I mean, if that's the case, and I'm going to say this to you because you have cows, so does that mean because mushrooms grow out of cow poop that you should be thrown in prison because your cows are manufacturing drugs? Does that make any sense?
No, of course not.
Then it's the same thing to me. Why
Yeah,
should somebody be sitting in prison for life
that's right.
for a plant?
I object to that. When I had unbelievable trouble getting my brother prosecuted for beating me up in my own home.
But if you would have
Don't get
told him
caught
he
with
still,
marijuana, but it's perfectly okay for somebody to come in and beat up a woman in their own home. Yeah, that's good. That's okay.
yeah, we're
We'll
just going to
slap
turn our
people
head.
in
That's a
the
family
wrist and
affair.
show you
Sorry about
away.
that look.
Sorry, what?
I said, yeah, that's one of those situations where they look at you and go, well, that's a family affair. Sorry about your bad luck. Arrest those cows.
What?
Christy, she says, arrest those cows.
Oh, yeah. She also says that being decriminalized federally means that
Yes.
they are able to be more proper studies done to see if there are benefits and what those benefits are and what levels are needed. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
And
important.
that
That's
opens up,
very important.
like in the healthcare field, that definitely opens up more opportunities for more in-depth personal testing.
Yeah. And that's needed. It really is. Well, I know what a sham is, but what particularly?
What was the sham, I think,
Now,
is
what
what
is
we were
it
asking.
that is a sham that you're talking about? It's a ripoff. It's a ripoff.
Are you saying medical marijuana is a sham?
Yeah.
I'm confused too.
I'm confused.
Please clarify for us, pacifist.
Na, 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 na,
Do,
na,
do, 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 do.
na, 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 na. Okay. Sorry, Lemmy. Just having a little fun at your expense. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Okay. That song that I was singing.
Dead air. Dead air.
Bob. That's a T-Rex song.
It's okay. We're not AA run. We can handle a couple seconds.
I gotcha.
We will not crumble.
Yeah. I think that we as a society can learn to be comfortable with awkward silence. Why not?
True.
I'm an advocate for getting comfortable with awkward silence. It's not the end of the world, people. Nope. Little silence, little dead air.
Anytime I have to get around family, there's always awkward silence because I'm sitting there trying not to tell them what I think.
Yeah.
That's why I have nothing to do with my family.
Okay.
Because they're just toxic. We're just going to call them toxic because that's the nicest word I can come up with.
Okay. I, as you know, I well identify there. Yeah.
We'll get in deeper on that on my anniversary, but
okay.
Let's just say I pulled a Scientology move and I did the disconnection thing.
Okay.
But
are you an ex-Scientologist?
Nope, I am not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Just an SP and an SP.
The only experience I have around the Church of Scientology, and I didn't speak too much about it when my grandfather was alive, just because he didn't need to be getting attacked from the Church of Scientology for ultimately helping save a little girl's life.
Oh.
there was a little girl I was in elementary school with, and her parents were pretty heavily into Scientology, and she came to school one day. Ironic enough, I don't even know why she was in regular school from what I've heard from everybody in SPTV, but she was still in regular school. We're just going to end that sentence there. And she came to school all beaten. Of course, the school had to call the state. The state got in touch with the girl's grandmother, who lived halfway across the United States, but ultimately she won custody of the little girl. And my grandfather's the one that got on the plane with the little girl and took her to her grandmother.
Okay. And the grandmother was not a Scientologist,
The grandmother
right?
was not a Scientologist.
Wow.
Like
That little girl must have dodged a bullet.
vehemently despised Scientology for what it had done to her daughter.
Yeah.
She's like, I did not raise my kids beating them, and I will not stand by and let my kids beat their children.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
if they want to have their religion where they want to beat the hell out of each other, go ahead, but they're not going to drag my
I'm not going to
grandchildren.
drag a kid into it. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Not only does tax exemption need to be revoked,
Yeah.
their what they do to kids needs to be heavily looked into.
CPS and APS both need to start stepping up and start doing some investigations.
Yeah.
Get off your asses, people. What are you paid for?
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's a lot of kids, it sounds like. I mean, I'm sure
it's
people
still actively happening today, as if,
weird.
just
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And
you mean you're not supposed to force 8-year-olds to do manual labor? That's wrong? Huh.
yeah, that is not a religious, that is not a
that's not
religious practice. I
religious.
don't care what anybody says.
That's torture. That's
Yeah.
abuse.
Yes.
I'm sorry, an 8-year-old is not the same as I am. I'm a 46-year-old woman. I do not look at an 8-year-old as being my equivalent in any way.
Yeah.
Maybe in height, but that's about it. That's where the similarities will end, right there. To think and seeing some videos that we've seen of, people exposing what they went through as children. It's like,
yes.
At 8 years old, I was crashing my bicycle into the fence getting laughed at.
Yeah.
I wasn't out building sidewalks.
Yeah. Hauling rocks and concrete and digging holes big enough to plant trees in. And
how about being told to dig a hole that's big enough that your body is going to fit?
Yeah.
When Liz Ferris told that story, it still affects me. I can't even believe somebody would have the audacity to say that to somebody.
I know. Yeah. That one broke me.
Sick.
That one broke me.
I tell you what, if ever I see eye to eye with David Miscavige, I might use that very line on him. Here is a shovel, sir. You better make sure that hole's big enough for your body to fit in. And I will check by jumping in it myself, since I am a 1/4 inch taller than you.
Christy says,
it's just how in this country where there are eyes everywhere, how is this still happening? Just how?
Yeah. Cosmic Christy says, I was an abused child, wasn't going to do that to my kids. I
Evil Knievel.
Still didn't spoil my kids. Yeah.
No, not Evil Knievel, just clumsy Candy.
So, Candy, I have a question for you. What besides a tiara would you like to do on in the meeting for to celebrate your anniversary?
What kind of what?
What besides the wearing of the tiara would you like to do at the meeting in celebration of your anniversary coming up?
Just everybody come with a good attitude.
Works for me. And it's the 12th, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's 2 days after my mom died.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be a year coming up.
Well, your mom's going to be sitting right here with us then.
Yeah. She made it to 95 and a half.
There you go.
So, I mean.
Oh my God. I have to tell this one now that you talk about my grandmother raised me, but
I just now got that joke.
She was looking in the bakery at different birthday cakes.
Uh-huh.
And she saw one of SpongeBob that she absolutely loved. Well, unbeknownst to me, SpongeBob actually, if you pushed the little button on top of his head, he bounced off the cake. So I get her the cake, and the next thing I know, we thought, if you push the button on his head, maybe his arms go up and down, something dumb. The next thing I know, SpongeBob goes in the air. My grandmother catches it, and she goes, "I saved him." She said that was the best cake we ever got her over the years. I'm like, you know what? If I would have known you needed to play in your food all these years. Yes, a lot of nasty people have their heads in children's affairs. Yes, they do.
But they should not. Yeah. Shouldn't.
And it's sick and it's sad and it needs to be stopped.
It does need to be stopped.
And it's only going to be stopped if we keep speaking out about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The SP movement gets bigger every day while the numbers of Scientology go down the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. At least something is happening that's
right,
not to their advantage, because they've had an advantage for a very long time.
Taking it back to our recovery world, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly.
Yeah, that's true.
But I know nothing's going to happen as far as law enforcement. We've seen it. In LA, we've seen it. Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I was still out in California when the Rodney King thing happened.
Yeah.
Which led to the Reginald Denny incident. Well, Rodney King led to the riots, which led to the truck driver being dragged out of his truck and beaten to almost death. That's Reginald Denny. And then it's just been thing after thing after thing.
Yeah.
LAPD is going to protect their own, and apparently they are going to protect Scientology because Scientology is their biggest donator. I'm convinced of that. Who else is giving up the money to the LAPD police fund in large chunks like that?
Right on. Is that about the police and their corruption, Lemmy?
Yes.
Okay.
We've systematically seen over the years that LAPD is not going to do the right thing. Yeah. They're just not.
Right. By some miracle, they did in the case of the Jane Does, in the Danny Masterson case, but yeah.
But for the grace of God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am so glad that they were listened to finally. Finally. Yeah. I don't care if it took 20 years or not.
That's right.
Finally, they were listened to.
Yeah.
And it aggravates me and it infuriates me that, these women didn't wait 20 years, despite what people think, because that's all they're connecting the dots to. Yeah. This was not something these women, decided, well, we're just going to keep our mouths shut for 20 years.
Mm-mm.
And then we're all at once going to throw that bomb.
It was
No, they
they
reported
paid
it
a
when it
heavy
happened.
price for coming forward the way they did when
You
they did.
know, they reported it when it happened, and they reported it to the church, and they reported it to police, and nothing was done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Danny Masterson, that you're going to spend the next however many damn years of your life rotting in prison where you should, but how long were these women walking around in an open air prison because of what you did to them?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that suit is a such a blow to Scientology.
I do. I hope it's been alluded to that there might be a settlement in the works. I hope that settlement takes every last cent David Miscavige has. I really do.
Yeah, if it were me in that
I would
position,
like to see that man left penniless and scrounging, just like he makes his devoted members do.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, ZW says I used to speak out all the time and try to do what I could to help, but it just seems like it falls on deaf ears. Must have time, or a lot of people just can't believe stuff like that is so heinous. And yeah, like this 8 passengers nightmare
Oh
mom and her.
dear Lord, I know it. I know.
I mean, the people were doing the right thing. They were reporting what they saw. When they saw something, they said something. And it wasn't just
You know,
one person on
sadly,
it.
it took another situation like what happened with the Turpin children.
Yes.
This child had to sneak out a window
Yeah.
because he wasn't being fed and he was duct taped.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that man on the 911 call his
That
voice was just so broken up. God, can you
broke
imagine?
my heart. I mean, just hearing
Mhm.
him get choked up
Yeah.
when he was trying to explain. I bet it took him a good minute and a half to get out the words duct tape.
Yeah. Oh my
You
God.
know, because he kept trying to go delicately around it. And finally, he's like, no, there is duct tape on this child.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, gotta love court, pacifist.
Yeah. So professional doxers, I guess. I don't know what that was. Why would somebody do that? I had to pause my recording 3 times today while Public Pretender kept bringing people out into the hall and asking them their private information. What the hell is that mess?
Whatever happened to writing notes in court to your attorney? Is that a practice that's not done
This sounds
anymore?
like something different than something along those lines.
Yeah,
Huh.
something definitely doesn't sound right there.
Yeah. Public Pretender. I'm assuming that's what you're calling the public defender?
Well, in some cases, the title is fitting.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Talking about somebody that I have no idea who he is. Where was that? Okay. Come on.
Name, birthday, address, last four of social. What are we starting the? Are we opening credit card accounts? Because that's about the only thing. Well, no, I need your income, but that's easy enough to manipulate. Just don't ask me how I know that. I was not a good.
I wonder
I was
what the
not a good.
name was there.
I was not a good person in addiction. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I was. That's something that I would like to talk to somebody who knew me around the time when I was kind of at my worst to kind of tell me what they saw, because I was so out of it in my poor little head.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here and that you're sane and sober, and yeah,
Thank God.
thank God. That's good, Lemmy.
I let people know I was recording. Well, at least you let people know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very kind. A lot of people that record in court don't do that.
Yeah.
Of course, in a lot of courts, you're not able to record, so right on for you to bring it to the people.
Well, is there anything anybody else needs to talk about as far as being here at a meeting? Does everybody feel like they've had a meeting? I feel better.
I do.
I do too.
And don't worry, people, on the 12th, you will know a hell of a lot more about me.
I'm looking forward to it. That's amazing. 5 years. I don't even, where was I in my fifth
You
year?
know, the one thing I am grateful that I never lost in my addiction or in my recovery is how passionate I am about different causes.
Yeah.
Like taking down Scientology, that's like right up there.
Yeah.
Before I take my last breath, I will see David Miscavige's organization crumble.
Right on. I'm good, Lemmy.
Because
I love it too. It was
because
good
that
having
is
you
the
here.
next right thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, whether we've known about it, not known about it, we're indifferent, turned our heads, whatever. Now is the time to open your eyes and be like, what do we do to stop this?
That's right. The elder abuse and the child abuse.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell do you think you are to put your hands on elderly people and children?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. Mm-mm.
I mean, you want to beat the hell out of somebody, I oblige you to come knock on my door. We'll dance. Both of us are going to come out looking like heaps of shit, but I guess if somebody really needs to beat the hell out of somebody, please leave the children and the old people alone.
That's right. Oh, that
I
sounds
couldn't
nice.
I couldn't imagine somebody beating the hell out of my grandmother, especially if they were
Oh my
inside.
God.
I would kill somebody.
If somebody would
I
have done
know
that to
me.
my
I would have
mom,
killed somebody.
oh my God. So, Christy, when you're getting oysters to learn how to shuck them, are you doing it for pearls or for eating?
Be careful you don't cut yourself.
Yeah, you can cut yourself on those shells. So do be very careful.
I learned that the hard way because my mother didn't tell me about the sharp edges either, but she knew about them.
Thanks, Mom. Okay. Nice.
Ooh, did you see that?
Excellent.
You received 100 messages today with the Restream chat. Woo!
Woo-hoo!
She's
All
going to
right.
eat them. Well, you enjoy them?
Yeah. All right, guys, let's close with a moment of silence for the person who's still suffering out there, and also suffering while going through sobriety and getting clean is real. Also, and also those we've loved and lost, and we'll follow with the Serenity Prayer. Do you want to lead us in the Serenity Prayer, Candy?
Sure.
Okay. All righty.
God,
God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Amen. Thanks, you guys, so much. I enjoyed this. It was a good meeting. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you.
Are you doing a morning meeting in the morning?
No, I for now, I put that aside because there was nobody showing up. And I just thought what I'll do is I'll just grow the channel. And when that becomes the necessary thing,
Then we can, yeah.
then
Good
I'll
idea.
reintroduce it. Yeah. And kind of, maybe get a consensus on the time and all that good stuff.
Yep, like I said, I'm willing to defer to the UK because they are so far ahead of us here in the US.
Yeah.
Like I know parts of the UK are 5 and 6 hours ahead of me, so if we do something like at 6 o'clock at night, we got to take into account that it might be 11 o'clock or midnight for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like London is like 8 or 10 hours ahead of where I live.
You're in Alabama,
I'm Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay. Central time zone, right?
Yep.
So
Chicago time.
you
Yep.
are hour behind me.
Okay.
So yeah, 8 hours. 8 hours. They're ahead of you by 8 hours.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that, Lemmy. I sure have. Great minds thinking alike here. I just hadn't figured out how I'm approaching that yet. But I've been wondering if I could make shorts from the videos after they post. I see people
I
doing that.
think
So
you
there is
can.
a way.
You gotta clip that certain segment.
Okay.
Don't ask me exactly what to do from there. I'd have to go into.
Bye, ZW. Have a good one. Thank you. Thank you, Zenwin.
Yes, thank you everybody for coming.
Yes. Yes. And we'll be celebrating on the 12th.
We will.
Woo-hoo!
Have a good night, everybody.
Yes.
Carol, I'll message you on Messenger.
Okay. Sounds
I'm gonna
good.
go grab something to eat real quick.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Okay.